Hey everyone, hope you all are doing great. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all who all are joining us globally. I am Partharu, Events and Program Manager for Microsoft Reactor. And yes, I welcome you all to yet another episode of AI102 with our MVP Vishwanatha Swami. But before we start our today's event, let's go through our code of conduct. We are all here to learn together, participate together. So please be respectful of other people's views, understanding the differences. Be kind and considerate in a way we all engage. We do encourage you all to participate. Please drop all your questions in the comment section. I would now not like to delay further and I already have Swami in the backstage and would like to bring him up on desk. Hey, hi Swami, how are you? All well?
Yes, Parth, I'm all well. I still remember you started the first episode. You and I, we started this first episode. So good to see. Uh, we are back. All is well.
Yep, sounds exciting. Today's event something on Azure AI Speech Service. Even I am very much excited to learn things about it. Let's go ahead. The floor is all yours.
Thank you. Thanks, guys, for joining me for another episode. First 2 minutes, I'll repeat what I was repeating. I'll not take much time, just 2 minutes to see what are we doing, where we are, and how do we proceed further. So if you see, this is my GitHub profile, and all the speaker series will be there. The demo script is in this folder today, 29th April. So you can go into this where you will see the demo script. I have updated the demo script locally, but Path will give you this link and this link. And the third link is the source code for this session is here. So I created a separate uh, organization in GitHub to focus on the AI ML learning. So it will be inside this. So I have given the link. Everything is in black and white. So let me remove these two tabs so that we will be able to focus on the things which we are. And this also I will close it and let me come back to the syllabus perspective. And if you see the syllabus, what we are discussing is official syllabus AI 102, and that is going to be updated tomorrow, April 30. So whatever we have discussed are valid. Some of the things has been removed, but some of the things uh, which are added or modified. So let's take if you see this, we have completed this one and this one and this one and this one. So out of six, I'm calling it as chapters. Out of six chapters, we have completed four chapters. There was one small change in this. The first unit here, develop applications with Azure OpenAI services, and a lot of the content has been removed from this, made it slim. So, and I went into this. The new things are very specific to the latest UI and also the coding. All the 2 3 units has been put into one place, and I have updated the code also. And I'll explain once we come back to this. Once we come back to this, then I can explain that what is that which is happening and how the things are changing. I'll explain you in this one. We'll look at this one also, so that within this we'll look at two different pieces. And apart from that, if you see, uh, getting started with AI services and computer vision, we saw chapter 6. Let's see chapter 1 and 2. So chapter 1, I think this is the one which is pending. We'll come back. Rest everything is there. This, I think, use AI responsibly with content safety. Even though this section was there, we by the time we were about to discuss the session, the content was removed. and again it came back. But we went and discussed it. I remember last year we discussed this section also. But anyways, I'll go through this and see what is the difference. If at all something, I'll come back and mix it with some other uh, discussion. And here if you see that all is well here, all the things whatever we discussed, everything is same. And coming back to the fourth chapter, this is the final section which we are discussing, the 7 hours of content which we discussed. It's not the number of hours or number of episodes. Our main focus is to learn the concept and learn how to do, how to utilize, and learn as much as knowledge as possible. So we're not restricting ourselves to number of hours or number of sessions. Now, if you see that this is 25th episode, so we'll learn. So this is the final one on this. And if you consider chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, and chapter 6 are done. So we'll get into develop NLP solutions with I'm sorry, implement knowledge mining with Azure Search. So we'll be on the chapter 4 in the next episode. Okay, I think this chapter 5 will be done. It's 2 hours. We'll see. We'll do it in 2 different episodes. Let's not rush. And this one we'll see how best we can include this number of episodes, making logical, not try to squeeze in within something we want to do and we squeeze in, it might hurt us bad, because there are a lot of good things from the vector database perspective, from search ranking perspective, search solutions, and a lot of things are there to learn. Let's learn, let's take time, and let's learn. I don't want to rush. Okay, that's about the story. So let's come back to this one. What is that we are going to do today? The AI AI102. Let's see, translate speech with Azure AI Speech Service. So if you see, and let's take 1 minute to see what did we do in the previous episode. Create speech-enabled apps with Azure AI. So we went into this, and we saw quite a few use speech synthesis markup and other things which we have seen. So let's spend 1 quick minute on that also. If you see this one, that's in another location, but at least I think we will be able to look at the demo script. What did we discuss in the previous episode? So I think this was on the 25th March. So we saw quite a few things here. Speech recognition, speech to text, and speech synthesis. You have seen that. And we played with the postman. We'll definitely do that in this episode also, the same thing. And the curl also we will see. And apart from that, we did spend some time on God, I'm sorry, I just wanted to open the Visual Studio Code. Instead I opened this one. Let me close that, and let me open up one more folder, which is this one, where we have the code. Let's see, because this was the old code, so I just kept it as it is. Now we'll be spending time in the new one. I'll explain what the new one is. So here we discussed the recognize and synthesize the speech. We worked on this one. Okay, it's all like a mix, everything in the same program. Now I have divided this. I'll migrate this code also. So this is the one which we discussed. So I'll close this, and let's start with today's episode. So we'll see that, okay, it's not this. It's 25th episode. So let me come back to this over here, and we are starting. So you can see the playlist is there. So now introduction, translation of speech where we recognize and transcribing the spoken input. Okay, returning the translation of transcription in one or more other languages. So the AI speech translation, we see this, it's a cloud-based service, and it provides a real-time multi-language translation capabilities for speech to text, very specific from speech to text. It combines the advanced speech recognition and then speech synthesis. So some of the capabilities convert the spoken language into text in real time, and the multi-language support and custom voice deployment, create our own custom voices. I didn't try this one, but speech synthesis, convert translated text back into natural sounding speech. So that means we gave some sentence in English, assume that, and then it goes and does the translate, brings it back, and we know that what kind of language, target language we told we needed, and then synthesis, it converts. I mean, whatever the output we bought it speaks that in the speaker or microphone. But whatever the sound which I'm hearing, you might not be able to hear. But let's go into that. Why AI speech transition? That's all. Little bit of theoretical. I just captured it thanks to ChatGPT. It's not my intelligence. Coming back to this one, speech. That's the previous chapter. This is the last final one. Translate speech is here. The translation speech, which we have seen just now, and introduction is the same thing. Provisioning resources generate the text translation from speech and synthesize spoken translations. So that's what we will see that in a minute. And provisioning we have seen multiple times, and again I will show you that. You can go in here. Let me go and click on this, and here we see that speech service, and we have discussed this last because last episode was the backfill of something which got missed due to some personal reason. So you can go and search for speech services, and you can see there will be one from Microsoft, Azure Speech. This one. Okay, for some reason, speech, it's called speech. So under Azure service, this is known as speech, and you can go ahead and create it. And we know that we'll not be able to do the free because it's already there. But if you create it in a different region, you can have the free version, whether it's a free or the standard version. It depends upon what it is. So that we have seen. Now use the Azure AI Speech to text API. We'll see that in a minute. And let's see what else we need to cover. And here, translate speech to text. So translate speech to text. So what is that overall, the architectural diagram kind of thing they have given it for us to better understand what is this. The pattern is we have to create the speech translation config. So that means different services of Azure AI, we are using it in different way. If you see some of the previous code where we used to deploy it, there we were asking for its deployment name and few other things. And here it is very specifically we are asking the endpoint and the region. I mean, we're not asking the endpoint, the region, and the key. We're not asking anything else apart from that. If you see, I think I need to, yeah, this is what I was telling. It asks for the endpoint, it asks for the key, and then it asks whether project name or deployment, that's a different story. But at least it definitely asks the endpoint and key. But when it comes to this particular service here, the speech translation, the two key things that uses is the key as well as the region. I mean, it's not worrying about the endpoint. Okay, that's one difference which I have seen that. So here we can see the same, the resource location and key, the region and key. Recognition language, target languages are something which we will be configuring. So let me collapse this, and you can see that there's one speech recognition. This it creates, and we are saying that that's the language. You can see that recognition language and target language. So this one is default. What is the language we are speaking? And the target language we want to convert into French, Espanol, and Hindi. And you can see that audio config. Let's come back to this one. This is a speech. Okay. Uh, One second. This is the speech translation config. This one. And another one is audio config is I think at the bottom. Yeah, here you can see that the audio config is either the microphone or the file. So you can do it with the microphone. We'll see both the versions. You can do it with the microphone, give the input, or if you have any of the WAV files, or at least I tried WAV, it works. I don't want. I didn't try any of the other one. I think I tried one with MP3 also. We'll see that here. One with MP3 also. So that's the two things which we see, and then translation recognizer. So let's go back to the code where we will see the translation recognizer. There is that guy. Okay, here. So here, translation recognizer. So translates speech input into text and synthesizes speech in one or more of the target languages. That we send a speech file and it translates it into text and then gets back, and we can ask it to pronounce what is that. Okay, so it gets this, translate, we're calling it as translator. So we gave the translator config and the audio config. You see that we gave both to this one. It's a proxy client object, and we invoke a method recognize once async over here, and we get the results. And the results.text is what is the text we have given as part of the input over here, as part of the input that is being sent here. And you can see the text is transcript of the recognized speech. That means I said that something in English, what is your name or something. So it gets transcript in that particular language. I said that what is your name, aapka naam kya hai, something of that kind. It comes in the Hindi if I give Hindi as a target language. So you can see that collection of translations with target language as a key. So we'll see all these things. So that's about this one. We spoke about the speech translation config, and I think that's when we spoke about the audio config, and we give these two here, translation config and audio config, and we'll create a translation recognizer that acts as a proxy client, and we invoke recognize once async. That's the method we invoke, and it gets all these outputs over here. So we saw that, and the processing results, whatever it is coming, it comes with these things. And next we'll go to this one, synthesize translations. So as we have seen, I'm sorry. So the translation recognizer returns translated transcriptions of spoken input. So whatever we speak through our default microphone, or we can give the audio file to it, and it goes and gets the translation. So event-based synthesis, when you want to perform one-to-one translation from a one source language into single target, that will be using the event-based. So if you see uh, right now, if you see this is what we are doing. We're converting from one to one. So manual synthesis is an alternate approach to event-based synthesis. So I think object synthesizing event will come somewhere. Synthesizing will come, and here there will be a iterate through translation discovery, this manual synthesis. So here what is happening is to generate audio translation for one or more target language. So you can see that translation recognizer translates the spoken into transcription in one or more languages. You need to iterate through the dictionary. I don't see that we are iterating. So definitely, I think we are based on the event-based one. We are seeing it. So let's see this one exercise. This is pretty much interesting. And let me bring this guy's content. Let me go back to here, and I'll keep it there. And let's come back and extract this. We have seen this multiple times, and we discussed that F1 and standards and all these things we discussed, and prepare to develop an app in Visual Studio Code. So this is MS AI language. We can take that, and we can download the code to our local machine. And here you can see that section 7, the previous, has got A and B. Similarly, the translate, and these are all the things which we have. And here we have C sharp as well as the Python. Let's see the C sharp and then come back and look into the Python. Now, what I did a small enhancements. Let's see the overall solution before we get deep into the weeds. So first thing what is being done here is, if you get into any of this solution, you don't see the framework. What is this made up of? So you're not seeing that here, because I use something called centralized package. And here in the build props, you can see that this is .NET 9. So here we have Azure OpenAI services and NLP. And again, I need to bring in the previous language and new things, search and document intelligence. All the other projects will also come. Now, what is the advantage of having this build props is you can define these properties at one location, and you don't need to repeat that. If not, what happens is the .NET 9, it will be here in this. Here you're not seeing that at all, isn't it? It's a property group where we will explicitly call out like target framework and all those things. You're not at all seeing. You see this, the property group, that entire element itself is gone in this one. That's one thing. So the repetition and all the repeated elements, we have removed it. And another important point is, if I have to migrate it to .NET 10, I don't need to go here. It is 3, and adding 3 more project, it becomes 6. So I don't need to go and modify this in all 6 projects. Instead, what I can do is I can come and do it at one location. That's one thing. And another thing is directory packages prop. So what is this one is manage package version centrally. So that means what happens is, if I have to use any of these in one or more location, I don't need to go all the places and ensure that I'm using the same version of that library. So hypothetical, like in one project I'm using header footer 1.1, in another project I'm using 1.2, in another project I'm using 1.3. Now if I want to do something of this kind, there might be slip. It's not intentional, but somehow that is the state of the project right now. So again we need to go and correct it. But in this case what happens is, the whenever you're including any of your library in the project, what we have to do it is, in this directory.packages.prop at centralized location, we mark this library. It's called as package version. The attribute, please make a note of that attribute, because if you see that here, we say package reference. But when you're adding it in the directory packages prop, we say that package version. That means you're locking the version. Now, if you're using this in the NLP service, let's take this header footer. We'll come back here. You see that you're saying that, oh, okay, I'm using this header footer, but you're not mentioning that what is that version which you are using it. Here I'm saying that I'm using Azure AI OpenAI. And you come here, you're using this header footer, but nowhere we are mentioning about the versions of that one. So the advantage of that is, if I have to go and bump any of the version, because when I come in here and I see there are no updates, but hypothetically, even if there is update, it will clearly show that where all the things it is being used. Now you can see that the same version I'm using in all different places. So it's been consumed here in this common services, and from there the local version has been used here. Now if you see the text AI analysis, it clearly shows it here in the NLP service. But in the NLP service, Azure AI text analytics, you're not locking any version. You're saying that I want to use this library, but everything is maintained in the centralized package props. Okay, that's another advantage. So all the attributes, we moved it, the build related as well as the package related, and also we have enabled this one, treat warnings as error. That means if there is any of the warning according to this compiler, it treats that warning as an error, and our build gets broke. So the advantage of that is, sometimes even though uh, the compiler and, and the analyzers, they're helping us saying that, hey, warning, this could be something, this could be something you might be missing, or the variable is null, or a lot of things it tries to warn us, but we overlook those and will complete the project or the assignment and move forward. Sometimes it might break in any of the environment. It will come back and hit us hard. So now, just to avoid those kind of things, if you see, we called it like we called it as mark. If at all any warning is there, mark this as an error, so the build will not go through. Okay, so these are some of the things which I need to address, but these are not falling under those categories where it shows it as an error. Okay, so if I that's one thing. And I think this project which we have already discussed, now this time I made little bit change. So that means if I come back to this one, the under NLP project itself, I think some of the things might not work, but I'll explain you the bigger picture on that. Now if you see here, under this configuration for this project, to execute this particular service or the demo, All I need to know is the OpenAI endpoint, its key, and the deployment name. I don't need anything else. Like if you see here, to execute this one, named recognition entity, all I need is I need to know the endpoint of the language service, the key, the project name, and the deployment name. That's custom project. And if I come back to translate speech, all I need is the endpoint, key, and the region. I mean, endpoint is not needed technically. I just put it there. But what is really important is the key and the region. So all I can do is I can come in and add an extra element over here after this and mention that, hey, give me just key and the region. Rest I'll take care. So what I did is I just broke the bigger configuration object into bits and pieces. So that means if I come and see this, the configuration object, it is having like, that's the library, and these are the console apps. Now currently there are two console apps. So one is NLP service and one is the Gen AI. So let's take the NLP service. NLP service, if you see how many different services are there. So here we have named recognition entity, named entity recognition as speech service. So again, this particular thing is broken into pieces. Now, if I want to execute only this demo, all I need is this configuration. I don't need rest of the configuration for this. So very specifically, because I don't need to maintain a bigger app settings, because here if I come into this one, all I care is the named entity recognition or the translate speech or text to speech or speech to text, whatever this is needed. I don't need to worry about anything on an OpenAI. Okay, so that's this one. And here if you come and see, another thing is in the speech service. I took the speech service as a broad umbrella category, but again, if you divide that, is section 7 and section 8. But both section 7 and section 8, if you come and see here, they are dependent on these two things, key and the region. This is section 8. And if you see the section 7, the speaking clock, and let's go to the top, and there also we need the key and the region. So both the 7 and 8, they're dealing with the same element. They need the key and the region. So rest is taken care. So that is the reason I took it as a single configuration piece. If at all it is something else, I would have again broken that into two different pieces. So that's the second one. So let's come back to this, and we see if at all the key or region. I'll exclude that endpoint. If at all the key or region is missing, we need to throw that. And that's where here, if you see that some of the elements are null, it will be null. But for this particular thing, we need the speech related, which I'm using the secrets.json. So I ensured that the secrets.json is not open, because every now and then I was flashing out my secrets. So this time I ensured that I'm not opening that file. And we are bringing in this, and we are using this translation config here. Okay, speech translation config. We have seen the diagram, and here speech config from subscription. So that gives the speech config. It's this one. And if it all quit, we will be quitting. And then, okay, enter anything. It's not enter anything else. It should be quit. Even if you enter something, it might throw, but it will be quit. We'll read a line. What is that we want to translate into, whether it is French, Spanish, or Hindi. And then we will come back and call this translate. And let's compare this with the code, how the code which is there here. Let's come to the translator. We need this. So the code, it will give the base skull. So it gives this the properties. You read it, and the encoding is Unicode encoding, and here the configure translation. So if we come back here, we will see the package versions has been logged, and here we'll get the speech, audio, and speech translation. So let me come back to this one. Here you can see that speech, audio, and translation, these three. And this will come back in a minute. And configure translation at the bottom, you can see configure translation. We said that speech translation configuration, and this is the current language, and these are the target languages. Now we are ready to translate from this translation config of speech recognition language. That is this particular language. By default, we said English. That means I have to speak in English now. Then we will create the speech config using the key and the region. So that is happening over here. And next thing is it asks us to execute. At that point, if you have this um, mark warnings as error, then you will be in a little bit trouble. You need to comment it. But if you don't have that element, you're good to go. Then the implement speech translation. And again, this happens in two pieces, part one and part two kind of thing. So let's see that. What I'll do is right at this point of time, I'll comment these things over here, commented, and come back and I'll uncomment this. Then we will see. So, okay, this is await is there. So I need to configure await of false. So that warning is gone. Okay, that warning is gone. So what we will do is we'll execute this one. Uh, it will it will wait for us to speak, and we said that from default microphone, and oh, I need to kill this variable. It's not used. So whatever we spoke, it will drop it over here, and then the result, whatever it is coming, will be here. So let's put a debugger over here. You might not be able to hear what the output or the sounds which are coming in from the speaker of this laptop, but at least you'll see that. So here it is asking. I need to paint it. I didn't do a little bit of beautification. So this time I want to do it in Hindi. So I'll say Hindi. I'm feeling hungry. Could you please give me some food? So that's what I spoke. I'm feeling hungry. Could you please give me some food? So it did the translation over here. So we can see the result. Let's go and do a quick watch on that. And the duration, it says it's 24 seconds, and the properties it has given, and the text is this one. Let's come back to the translation. See, we have added three: Espanol, Spanish. I don't know much of French, so s'il vous plaît, I definitely know this. And मुझे भूख लग रही है, क्या आप कृपया मुझे कुछ खाना दे सकते हो? Ooh. So let me execute it. It will pronounce that now.
मुझे भूख लग रही है, क्या आप कृपया मुझे कुछ खाना दे सकते हैं?
So it spoke about that. Okay. Now I will select Espanol. Yes. What is your name? Where do you live? I don't need this. It's wasting our time.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿En dónde vives?
Okay, so what's your name? Where do you live? It's spoken Spanish. Now I'll try something in French. Hey, I'm learning Azure OpenAI. What is that you're learning?
Et j'apprends Azure OpenAI. Qu'est-ce que vous apprenez?
So it's I do quit and it breaks. That's cool. So that's one way to do the interaction. And then another way we will see is, let me comment this. I will make it a little bit better instead of this commenting and uncommenting. I know that's a ugly code, but that's what I have it on the table. So it's on me. I'll make it good. So this time what is happening is it is reading from this WAV file. So I'll come back over here, and I think there will be better options to do it. But as of now, it is Windows operating system. I just put a if condition there to ensure that you'll be able to read. I say that I want it in Espanol, and it came. Right now you see that. That's a audio file. And using this sound player.
Where is the station?
Where is the station? And then we gave that sound file into this. It's making a call. And you can see that the result, the text is where is the station? And you can see the translations count. So it gives in all different languages. And from that, we are picking it in the, I think it's not the, based on this, we are doing the translation. So let me take my statement back here, because when we are doing the synthesis, I don't see we are hooking up with any event. All we are doing is, I think there's a manual synthesis. It's not the event-based synthesis. I'm taking back my word on that, because we got the translations here, and the translations is a dictionary. We need to traverse it, or we already know that what is the target language. So directly we are coming and picking it up. So that's the manual synthesis. Sorry, apologies for that. So then we are writing the translation here in French. The same thing, if we don't want to do the translations like this, we can loop it through this, because here if we are picking up from this translation, we are picking up the target language. Another thing what we can do is we can we can traverse over that and speak everything. And here particularly we are configuring the voices. I remember in the last episode, in the March 1st or something, when that's episode 24, this is episode 25. The previous one was the backfill, episode 22. In the episode 24, we saw that in the speech studio, how to retrieve the voice name, whether it is neural, or what all the other things are there. Now this is the guy, Madhur Neural. So that's also, we have seen the difference. What is the difference also we have seen in the previous episode. Okay. That's about this one. So this time onwards, I thought that let me do something. So I have come back here, and just give me a minute. Is this one by? Okay. So let me come back over here, and okay. So let me activate .venv scripts and this. So CD NLP and speech. Ooh. Okay, CD translator, and here is the one. So let's see that. Similarly, whatever we did it, we can see there, or I started adding those also here so that it will appear. And I've given the .env file. I think I need to update the example app settings. I didn't update it, so I'll do that, but which I did it here in the env file. We need this key and region, and I didn't update that, so at least I can show here in the VS Code speech and translation, because there's other one, the section 7, I need to add that, so I created subfolders here, but both are depending on key and the region. So again, this is the same. We have this one thing, as I was mentioning, I was exposing the env files. This time I moved it to somewhere. I mean, I stole the concept of what these people, VS Code, Visual Studio, are doing when we do the secrets.json that goes and sits outside the repo location. So similarly, outside the repo location, I created a data stores and envs, and I drop the env file whenever I need something. I go and change, but I have updated. We need these two. And in the translator, rest of the things are same. We are using the Azure Cognitive, and you can see that what all the packages are there. It's up to date. We can go and do pip freeze. You can see the list of packages, and you can see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There you go, 14. So up to date, all the packages are there. You can do a pip install. And let me come back over here, and I do py. Okay, I'm translating. I'm saying that. Okay. Let me kill this, because this is much. I mean, we saw that in English. I thought of to speak, but we already did a deep dive when we are doing in English. Let's directly, where is the station? We'll see that example. And bonus episode, as I was mentioning. So
where is the station?
It read, where is the station? And
¿Dónde está la estación?
so it pronounced it in Spanish. So I'll stop there, and what I'll do is I'll come back to this one, and let me show you something else as a bonus episode. As I was mentioning, that I'll be bringing in a different, projects to showcase more. So calm mind. So this is a chatbot which I'm working on. It's in progress, but to a decent extent, it's in a presentable position. So I just wanted to show you that. So like this, every time when we discuss, I will bring in some project I'm working on, and you can see that if you come in here and go to the organization, it's another repo where I'm grouping all these things. So you can see that's the project, Creative AI in Mind. This is also work in progress. This is the one, whatever I'm talking about, Calm Mind Bot. So that's about the mental wellness. And you can see what is that you can ask and initialize, and this one will take this sample. So how do you do? Let me go there, and I do this one. Let me go CD SRC. And here, if you come in here, you have a notebook, and inside the notebook, it gives the commands where you will be able to go ahead and do the fine tuning of a model. So that's the one. And this is a small project where you can see that you have Django project. Oh God, I kept the CNV here again. I'll move that. I'll move that. So where it gives all these things. I mean, it might throw somewhere because I didn't enable the ENV and detecting the kernel and all these things. But I think we are in a good position to run this py manage.py run server. We'll execute this. We'll see. Let me open platform dot OpenAI. There you go. Right. So that's the one. A lot of things I need to integrate. I put it there. So again, this is single turn. It's not the multi-turn, and doesn't have any memory. It's not that responsive for sure, but so you can see that. I can come into this command, and let's grab the let's grab this here. Here somewhere there is a text which I can give it to this guy. Let's give him a minute. Yeah, this one. Every winter I find myself getting sad because of the weather. How can I find it? This is from the data set from Hugging Face. So if I give that to this one and I enter, but technically it should give, and you can see if I'm using the fine-tune model, I think the response should definitely be a little different. So you here, this is what is expected definitely. So when I give this seasonal affective disorder SAT, so this has been fine-tuned with this. Now I can show you the image here. See that when I used the fine-tuned one, so it gave this seasonal affective disorder. The same thing we are seeing that when I use the fine-tuned GPT 3.5, it is giving. So if you want, if this sounds interesting and you want to do some work on this one, you guys can go grab this, and I've given the instructions there to, I mean, be little cautious about the cost, because you're seeing that $1.19 it took on the day when I did the fine tune of this GPT 3.5 model. I mean, using this Combot Pi, there will be this data set has been downloaded from this Hugging Face. Okay, and somewhere this happens that creating a sample message and train the data set, somewhere in between these two when I executed. Fine tuning the model. I think this is the one, training and fine tuning the model. When I did this, it took this much amount on the day. So be a little cautious when you want to try this sample. You download and you can play with it, but around 100 rupees or 200 rupees based on the data set, it will charge. And I'm talking about Indian rupees or around $2. I'm going on a higher side. For me, it was only $1.19, but it might your data set might be little lesser or huge. I don't know. So I'm saying that around $2 plus you might get charged for the fine tuning. But it's pretty interesting. The step by step is there, and in the data you can see this the JSON it gets created, and this is the main project. There's a fab icon, and you can see the same, the settings and this file, the DARs, and somewhere actually it's a basic one, the static DR, only those three things: the installed app, the static files, and the DARs, those three things. And if I come and see this here, you have the templates. Technically, these templates should be outside. I will update it because as of now, what is happening is if you see the here the view itself is going and speaking with this. I need to have a separate API project where the external interaction should move to that, and this will use the other project, and this template combine should be here, the chart, but navbar, homepage, and other which belongs to the overall solution should be outside this one. I'll do the enhancements little later. I just thought of to present this, and I'll be presenting another project in our next episode. I think that is from my side. Back to you, Parth. Hello. All those exist. So not agreed with Indian regional language like Kannada, Tamil, etc. This is because of the data set they trained or any other reason. Oh, train and think. I mean, uh, Tamil, I think I will try that because I don't want to answer something which I really don't know. Because as far as the Hindi, which I tried, um, I was satisfied to see the translation, but definitely you mentioned three languages, isn't it? Kannada, Tamil, and Telugu. I'll see that. What are the three languages which you told? I'll definitely look into that and do some research on. I mean, do some practice on that one, and I'll definitely get back because this is what I did it in previous sessions also. When I'm unable to answer something on the episode right now, so what I'll do is I'll do a little bit of work myself on that, and then I can come back in the next episode and tell that, hey, what is that which I feel or what I learned. I'll definitely share. Yep.
Great. Thank you. I hope, yes, I hope that answers the question. And yes, please reach out to Swami over LinkedIn if you have any more questions. And I have also shared the series link. Please go through and attend our upcoming sessions as well. Here is the series link of AI102. And yes, thank you. Thank you, Swami. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. One last thing before we wrap it up. Stay connected with the Microsoft AI community to learn and share and join more. Join our Discord channel on the link given on the screen, and it will help for you all to communicate directly with the speakers, connect with industry peers, and learn more on Azure AI Foundry too. Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much for everyone for joining us today. And thank you, Swami. Thank you for hosting this. Hope you all have a great evening and great rest of your day. Thank you. Thank you, Swami.
Good night, folks.